Hello, with Demi from Kingdom 1903, and today we're gonna talk about how to create the perfect filler farm for your account and kingdom. There are some simple steps that you have to look out for and that you have to do to reach the minimum power while still having tons of T4 units to fill your flags, rallies, and forts. Okay, here we have one of my small farms. This is Demi F5. It has around 12 million power, 1 million T4 units, already around 1 million T4 deaths, and after 1 KVK around 5 million kill points versus 1606 just for providing deaths and filling rallies and forts and flags. Okay, as you can see, this is our unit count, roughly 1 million, a bit less, but that's okay, since we have plenty of time to recover those units to next KVK, since we just returned out of KVK and had our troops return, so there's plenty of time to get more units to fill. As you can see, we gathered around 3.2 billion resources, and of those 3.2 billion resources, we transferred 3 billion resources to my main account, which means that we basically transferred all those resources that we got to my main, even though we had to build up to CH25, we had to heal units for filling those flags always, as every time when your units are in the flag, some gets really wounded, and that's basically what happened, and it cost around $500 million to, I think, reach CH25. So that means we have a good passive resource income from our home alliances. 903F, for example, is this farm, and that's why it's really important to have a good kingdom of organization where you can put those farms in and that recognize that you have filler farms. As you can see as well, we have around 1.1 million dead troops, which is quite a lot for such a small farm, and yeah, almost 5 million kill points, which are mostly from T5 units, which is really great, especially against an Imperium, which means we did trade really well. Here you can see the economy tech tree that I took to provide this account with such low power and still T4 units and still provide good resources. It's not much, but you could even go less, but that's the way I decided to provide a bit of faster resource providing. But now we come to the important part, the vortex tree. And this is pretty simple, just do the minimums for reaching T4 and stop there. Do nothing else. That's it. No more, no less. Okay, as you can see, I made KVK rank 8, and a lot of it is due to my farms. Because my farms made 8.8 million, that's this KVK, which is a pretty impressive score if you think about dropping those deaths in T4s of your main. That would almost equal 36 million power, and I think many of you are not able to drop 36 million power of your main. That would render it basically zeroed or useless for many players. But even if you have 200 million, it is really useful to have those farms to keep this power of the 200 million for Kingsland and go crazy by swarming, for example. But basically that's what I did. I reserved my main troops for Kingsland and used my farms completely to 90% almost in Zone 5. And the trades were basically, when I compared in power-wise, 1-to-1 to the enemy. So basically the enemy lost about 36 million power, while I lost 36 million power. I got less kills. This means I got tons of T5 deaths, which means those were units of main troops of the enemy. And this is really telling because that deprived them of units for Kingsland, while we still had them units, and it was just farms that we didn't really care about. But having those farms is just really important. So I highly encourage everyone building those small power farms with just T4 tech, some eco tech, a little bit of commanders for gathering, and you use those as well just for filling the flags. You can even just put 5 units in one flag with the garrison commander, a Gorgo Hera, and you don't even have to care about it, because you can just swap to another account or your main and field fight, and those 5 marches are in the flag, and it's 1 million troops that are auto-fit basically. And if you refresh and the flag refreshes, you just do the same with your farms, and it's basically GG for you. You get a tons of deaths, and you deprive the enemy of units because they will have to keep up the rally to fill it, and this means mainly having to use main troops while you use the farms, and that's where you really win. And if you can do that a lot, this can mean even winning the KVK in a whole. Okay, I'm happy if you remember 3 things from my video. And this is build just the city hall 25, trade post 25. That's for building. Then on tech, you basically just go for the gold economy tech for the pit to get a lot more resources from the pit and faster, as this is really important, at least if you use T5. Otherwise, you can basically don't care about it. And then you want to, of course, reach T4 units on the tech tree, but just unlock them, as anything else on the tech tree doesn't even matter for you, as you will not use them in any other way than just filling, and they are your own tech. Besides having the units, doesn't matter. Yeah, the rest is basically you want to train a lot of T4 units, keep your power lean, and kill those units off every KVK. If you have plenty of farms, you can even rotate those farms, which means, for example, you have 20 farms and you use 10 for each KVK always, which means 10 farms have a recovery time where they can regain T4 units, while you can go crazy each time on those 10 that are in KVK. Which will help you out a lot, and you still have a lot of resource gain. Just put the other 10 in domain 2, for example, if you are in a bigger kingdom, and you're set with a great resource return and troop return, and you can always keep doing that. 10 accounts would mean it's still a lot of train, but it's not as crazy as having 20 in 1 KVK, which means that it would be way better for your kingdom. Yeah, this is basically it from me. I thank you for listening, and happy you were here. Take me out.